Hello, YouTube world. My name is Anthony Long. Welcome back to the Bluegrass Picker channel. Start off with a hot one. Something about that song just gets you pumped. I remember I used to listen to it lifting weights. Gosh, that's such a hard one. Hey, Bubba. Bump. I got your picture. This might be a record. Play like 5 songs and no one's ever here. Georgia. Gotta get some people in here. Good Lord. I don't think I've ever had this. Maybe YouTube's blocking me. Did I say something wrong? Hey, I got someone here. Thanks for joining. I was getting lonely. I don't think I've ever had that happen before. I guess it is Saturday morning. Most people sleep in. We got a huge storm coming at us, so I can't really do anything. Thanks for coming. Who's in the chat? You can creep. Well, I guess this is just going to be practice playing guitar in front of the live audience that's out there. Hey, thanks for coming on. If the sun refused to shine, I would still be loving you. If the moon there would still be you and me. What's up, Joe? How you doing, Philip Bicker? Thanks for joining for a minute. I've been I think that's the longest I ever started a live and no one was joining. I just kept playing guitar. I just came on. It's getting ready to pummel us with rain, and so I can't really go work and can't really garage sale. I was gonna go to the farmer's market. Can't do any of those things. It's pretty nasty looking storm. What's been selling for you on eBay? I had someone come in and buy 4 Beatles collector's plates the other day. I think I had like 10 or 12 up, and he bought 4 of them. Or she, I don't know. And that was nice. I need to pack those up here in a minute, send them out. And I've been selling a lot of Wii stuff, a lot of games, sports cards like always, but Alice in Chains. I end up making up my own. I played their song, but I add my own little dumb stuff into it. They'd probably call it sacrilege. And some I don't. Yeah. If you're still in here, Joe, are you doing garage sales or anything out there in Philly today? I don't remember what you say where you get your stuff. I can't remember. I was thinking you said Goodwill a lot of times. I always wonder if garage sales aren't very good in some places. Ours haven't been good here recently because the good ones are usually the community garage sales, community-wide ones. You know, because those are like the gated communities or nicer houses, and they only do it like twice a year, so they have like a bunch of nice items they've been kind of waiting to do, and they're all right beside each other. So those are the best ones, and I haven't seen any of those this year. So Springfield's pretty spread out, squared wise, and there'd be like 10, and you know, it's almost a waste of gas driving everywhere, time wise too. Well, I guess no one to talk to in a live chat kind of makes it hard. I've never had this problem before. Most people, I guess, I've become uglier, or become not interesting enough, I guess. Maybe I should just start listing. Getting ready to get pummeled by the rain. Springfield is right there. Yeah, I'm gonna go get my mower out. Ooh, where did I sell my antique ball? 2 more Mahomes cards. And a Travis Kelce. 2 Travis Kelces. A Sammy Watkins. Oh, man. Someone went in and bought all my... Whoa. Ball card. Holy crap. Someone went in and bought all my football cards. Like every one of them. At my antique mall. Holy crap. I think every Chiefs card I had is gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 14, 15. I sold at least 18 cards yesterday in my antique mall. Holy crap. It's definitely the best day I've had there because football's getting ready to start up. Hey, Jake. Thanks for joining. It's just jamming a little guitar and checking my flea market booth. What it sold, I can't believe. Sold $312 yesterday. Usually you get those sales on a Saturday, but not even then. But holy crap. One person must have went in there and just grabbed them all up. What do you like to play, Jake? I've checked your channel out before. You played like dreamy electric guitar stuff, if I remember right. It's really cool. I like that sound. I like the sound. It was kind of neat. I need to play more on the electric. I just, for some reason, like the acoustic. Guy's easy. The dog's barking, so. Wow. I can't believe I sold all these cards. That means I have to take them off eBay and put them in my antique mall because I'm getting more on my antique boost and flea market boost than I am. Wow. No kidding. It's the best day I've ever had. $312. Wow. I'll take it. Wow. I don't know what to say about that. That means I'm going to get close to like $700 I've sold this month in my flea market booth. Wow. It's going to be a nice check. Although they wiped me out. I have to go up there today, which I don't usually go on Saturdays. It's a pain because there's so many people all over the place. Flea markets are starting to do better, I think. Because you can get antiques at a flea market, but at an antique mall, you're only getting antiques. Some people don't go there unless you're just getting antiques. And I think in a time and place right now, you want to do both. You buy some necessary goods, and I get a lot of people buying like cooking stuff. Wow. Oh, I really almost need to get to work. Sold that many cards yesterday. Wow. It kind of blows my mind. I'm just surprised people are spending money on that. I never would have thought that in this time and place, people are spending more money on cards than anything. They've made them so hot. They're so strange. Fascinating. I have to look at that again. It wasn't all just Mahomes either. It was every Chiefs card I think I have. I think it was every card. If the sun refused to shine. Wow. 18 card. $312. What's that average out to? 15 a card. Not bad. I'll take it. Well, it's been too long since I played it. I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna stick it. Maybe even somewhere. Since no one's listening. Ugh. That song's so hard to play. Holy crap. Dave Matthews. To strum that hard on all those muted strings and be changing chords that much. No wonder no one plays his songs. They're like, wait. lot of good guitar practice. Maybe people will join in eventually. I don't know. Maybe they're blocking me. Tesla. Man, there must be something great going on out there. Not one person in here. You're right, Cora. No one does watch. I hate it when she's right. Man, storm looks nasty. It's getting worse. It's real humid here, so I'm not surprised. Like, look at how dark it is. Also, easy. Cora, easy. Hey. Cora. Hey, baby. Hey. Oh, yeah. We just went to the bathroom, babe. You don't need to go. You just want to. Can everybody see you on here? Come here. Come here. Now she won't do it. Cora. She likes to sing. Bo's asleep on the bed. This is the day I don't run, so this is killing me. I want to run. You. To you. Hey. Cora. Chase me spinning round. Chase this paradise. And yet I find if I'm not this, I still believe. Armando from the vault. Well, how's it going? Just a little Saturday picking. Yeah, it's going to rain here. I can't do anything. So I figured I'm going to practice my guitar anyway. So maybe people want to listen. Hey, some people in my community like it. I'm a reseller, so mostly just not. But hey, sitting around, maybe you're listening. Maybe you want to listen to some crazy man ramble to his computer. Little Alice in Chains. Hey, Eric, how's it going? Raining here, yeah. Where are you at? Armando. Hey, Yellow Brick Road Reselling. How you doing? Yeah, that's kind of what I was that's actually why I was doing it. It's like I should be listing, but I actually stayed up really late and listed a bunch of crap. And so I'm just taking it easy. I need to. I'd practice guitar every day, of course, and figure I might go on. And because if I was listing, I'd want just a little guitar or something to pass the time. I just don't watch TV anymore. Daisy Duke May, how you doing, Danny? It's good to see you out and about on the chats. You're honestly the first person, you and Emily Conway. It's like any chat I was ever going into, you were the first person to greet everybody, and so who knows if I ever would have stuck in the community if it wasn't for you. So I appreciate everything, being so positive and everything. I really appreciate it. That's rare anymore. Because when you're positive and you're just being nice instead of trying to get something out of something, it's obvious anymore. Hope all's well with you. Hope you're healing good. Hope you're feeling better, and hope you're getting some stuff taken care of with your vehicle and everything. Northern New York. I bet it's beautiful up there. I had a friend that lived in Buffalo, and he said the taxes were so ridiculous that, how do you put it? We're paying for all of New York's taxes. They don't pay any, and we pay for them. But he loved it because you can like go skiing in the mountains, and then you can go to the beach and play volleyball on the lake, and he loved that. Yeah, I love me some Alice in Chains. STP, just played Pearl Jam. I grew up on it. Nirvana came out. It was just like, I mean, that's nothing. People that didn't live through that. I'm sure most of us here did, but I've heard other people talk about it. And I'm like, Nirvana was so amazing because at the time it was crap. There was nothing. Whoop, there it is. Baby Got Back. MC Hammer. I mean, that's what we listened to the hardcore rap around where I was at because it was at least something. It was like they tried. So there was a big vacuum of we need some music, and Nirvana came in and it was like, whoa, that's different. That's more like rock used to be. The drummer, the Foo Fighters lead singer now, David Grohl, just kicking it. Just beating the drums as hard as possible, and just amped you. I don't know, my opinion. Real estate's so cheap up here. Interesting. But I know Northern, they have like the Finger Lakes and all that, so they have mountains, and I know it's pretty scenery up there. I love Missouri. People don't realize how beautiful Southern Missouri is. I kind of don't want anybody to know, honestly. Northern Arkansas it's like the Smoky Mountains a lot. Not quite as big and as many, but it's a lot like that, but older almost. Big bluffs with the rivers have carved the whole bluff in it, and it's just cool. I love the rivers down there. I like going kayaking. 2 weeks. Huh. I hope you get it all worked out, man. Oh wow. Yeah, that's another thing. Missouri is some of the cheapest real estate. I remember when I was working at Cheddar's in like 2005, 2006, when everything was starting to go downhill. I had a friend move from Las Vegas here, and he had a $750,000 house. He said he spent $300,000 on a house here that would have cost like 1.5 in Vegas. He was just blown away. I'm like, why would you want to live in Vegas? That's got to be the hottest, driest, the bowl. Well, that's awesome. That's great news to hear. You can build from that, start trying to heal. I fell asleep trying to do that auction we were doing for you, and I kept falling asleep. And then every time I get back awake to do it, had my stuff, they weren't letting people on. That was fun. It was fun. I had a Barry Bonds autograph. I was wondering how much it would go for because there's so many people in there. That's what was cool about it is you knew you'd get some good bids because you'd find some collectors in there that want it for themselves and they pay up for it just not to sell it. And so you're going to actually get some good prices for things because a lot of people when they're doing these auctions, they're trying to pay 30 to 50% like they would a garage sale so they can make some money on it, get some meat on the bone. But yours, it was like there's cool collector stuff. Way up near Canada, yeah. Oh heck yeah. Yeah, we got lots of cool places like that down here. People have those all-terrain vehicles with the thing over the top. What do you call them? Anyway, they have lots of tracks down here. But then a lot of people from here go out to Colorado because they need something more than just Missouri. So, but Branson it's beautiful. Uh, you got to be careful. Right now is the best time to go to Branson because there's not, like my buddy works at Silver Dollar City, and it's really hurting. I don't know if Silver Dollar City's going to make it. I don't know if a lot of these places are going to make it. If it wasn't for some of those loans, probably would have already been done with a lot of them. But it's beautiful, like the Table Rock Lake. Ugh, it's the most underrated lake. Everybody talks about Lake of the Ozarks because that's what people know of and heard of. But that lake is just commercialized and people all over it. It's not as good as the lake anyway. So, no problem, Joe. You were the only one in there for all time. I just want to. It's not a big deal. I just kind of want to give some, because like when I'm looking around on a lot of times when I'm listening, I just haven't anything to do and I'm not watching TV because you have to like give it at full attention. With YouTube, you can just kind of chit chat and be in the chat and listen. And so I just wanted to give people something else to listen to, some guitar. But thanks for joining. I appreciate it. You're in Miami. I'm in southern Missouri, but I love northern Arkansas. I go down there a lot in the summer I used to. This last year, I haven't done much of it. But I love the rivers in Arkansas, Buffalo, but the one down south, it's starts the M. But it's hard, it's tough, it's scary. So you got to be good. And you have to take the kayak. You can't canoe it. Canoe will just submarine it. It'll go under. Yeah, it's crazy the prices of houses and the difference. Like here, it's so cheap. Everybody has like a third of an acre to mow. Everybody has like, there's a lot of people have half acres. lots. And you go to the East Coast and places like that, they don't do that. It costs too much. If you got the houses are expensive enough, you don't want to have more land. It would be ridiculous. So you can just tell how it's just easier to own property here. Actually, it'd be a good place to invest is Southern Missouri. If I was a real estate person, you're gonna see people moving to this area. People are sick of. I don't watch the news, but enough to know that people are getting sick of the city. City. They want something a little smaller. 108 acres. That's awesome. That's awesome. Uh, that'd be a dream of mine is owning some acreage. My grandpa was so proud of that. He's so proud of that. And he should be. He saved up for like 10 years to get that land, and they've still got it, and they've made quite a bit of money on it over the years. Yeah, we need some more likes, like Danny said. Yeah. I appreciate you for joining. Twice as much as yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Living your dream. What do you do with the acreage? Do you just mow it and just think about what you're gonna do with it, or did you already just knock it out of the park and do whatever you want with it? I always find it interesting to see what everybody's idea of, you know, because I mean, like, I love listening to podcasts, and one of them's Joe Rogan. When he had someone on, and he tells the guy that never lived on a farm or done anything like that, and he wanted to buy one, and he's like, well, I wanted to buy the cows that had these horns and they had that look and they had that furry on the bottom and all this stuff. I'm like, he goes, it's hard to find. I'm like, yeah, that's usually a reason for that. It means that they don't have good meat. They're hard to make money on. That's why you don't see them everywhere, And he said he basically bottomed up into that and stopped doing that. I'm like, yeah, don't jump into things that you have no idea about just because you want to do them. I mean, I do that, but at least background check it and know what I'm doing a little bit. Yeah, I'm the same. I'm just like down here. You try to get the acreage that has the water source because there's lots of springs around here, Springfield, and so that's the premium is you get a house that has that, so then you can be self sufficient. Yeah, they do a lot of food plots for hunting down here. Hey, that's awesome. That's a good dream. And it's funny because every successful thing you listen to, the people talk about that, they all say the same thing. You gotta have a dream. You gotta have a goal. You gotta have a dream. You gotta have a goal. And I remember, ironically, just talking about it. There's this just down the street from me. There's this like 1950, 1960 ocean liner boat that's built for like you could tell it was probably really expensive back in 1950, 1960. And it's just sitting there. It's been sitting there for years in this guy's house. You can tell it's not moved. They don't power wash it. People come and clear it around it just for him. And then one day they had a story in the paper and they're like, have you ever wondered what this is? And I'm like, heck yeah. I wonder where did this come from? It's like it looks like Gilligan's Island, that boat kind of deal, except more like a speedboat. But that era, you can just tell. Anyway, they interviewed the guy. He was a World War II vet. And he said that when he was there, and I'll never forget this, he goes, when I was there, everybody that had something to go home to went home. People that didn't have anything to go home to didn't come home. And he's like, so I knew I needed a dream, and I dreamed about buying that ocean liner, that boat, and I focused on that. When I got home, I did it, and he said he didn't hardly want to use it. He didn't care, but it was just like it was his thing to get him through. But I think that all of us should be doing that somewhat. Have a fixed goal and whatever happens between it, but we try to get there because whatever happens around it is what was meant to be anyway. It's not what you think the end result is, kind of deal. That's cool. 100 acres. Yeah, Philly, what's been selling for you? I've been selling a lot of Wii, and um, I was selling a lot of Beatles collectibles. I'm gonna start listing on my Dale Earnhardt Jr. I was just looking. You guys all missed it. I was looking at my flea market booth, and usually I get the notification, my email every night about 7, and they tell me what I've sold. I didn't get one last night. I'm like, so I didn't sell anything. And then I just went live, and I was like, brought it up, and it says 13 items sold for $312. It's like, whoa, that's the best day I've ever had at my flea market booth. And I've looked, it's actually 18 because some of them were triples, 3 of the same thing. And I sold someone went in and bought all my Chiefs football cards, like every single one of them. So that was killer. And it just baffles me that I mean, I've always sold sports cards, but good God, all of a sudden it's just like everybody's got to have them. It's on everybody's mind. Everybody's talking about it or something. It's weird. People don't realize how much some people have power. Whenever Gary Vee went on right before the pandemic, I think it was, he went in and said about how he's throwing all of his money back into sports cards and doing all this stuff. That's when everybody started talking about it, raking profits and all them faking profits. So I'm glad, but it's kind of crazy. I can't keep up. I sold 18. I'm gonna have to go restock those today because today's Saturday. I usually only get big sales like even close to that is on Saturdays. So it must have been one person that went in and just bought them all. That's crazy. So 18 for 312, averaging over $15 a card. Because I mean, it's so like Travis Kelce, Sammy Watkins. He bought all of the even okay guys. Aces. It's doing better in my antique mall. I think people are going to my flea market booth more. People are like really shopping at the flea market instead of going to Walmart and stuff, I think. And boy, I need to list and take stuff up there. Good Lord. 864 subscribers. Nice. Getting up there. Oh, yeah. Sales have been slow lately. Interesting. What do you got up? I've got about 350 listings right now, I think. Most of them are pretty good. Some of them are just like throw up stuff that I had from last year. I would say there's 50 of those that probably need to either be reworked or dropped or probably buried by eBay anyway. But I've been selling 4 or 5 things a day for some. I mean, that's way better than I usually do. And it's collectibles and sports games mainly. So I guess if you got those things, throw them up if you got them. That's cool. Yeah, I understand that. You sell on Amazon. What do you like to sell on Amazon? I just always think, I don't know if I want to go buy. I don't know. I love buying stuff for eBay because it's like really treasure hunting. With Amazon, it would seem to be almost, at least the very beginning, it's just RA. I don't know how fun that would be for me. And I don't like how you have to wait 2 weeks to get paid and all that. Like, I like that about. I'm not a fan of this new managed payments. I mean, it used to be PayPal. They paid me. I've already flipped that money, and before I've even shipped it out, I could have made more money on that money. And now I'm waiting 2 or 3, 4 days, 5 days when if it comes in on a Thursday to get in my bank. It's like that. I don't like that. I have 2 accounts and I left one PayPal, so I've thrown some more stuff on the one that still has PayPal, so I can just flip that stuff real quick because I go buy YouTube auctions and stuff, and I don't know. It's like anything. Now we're waiting 3 or 4 days. They're trying to be like more like Amazon. I don't know. Did anybody watch Auction Professor's last video? He's one of the few people I really watch because he's invested in eBay, and so he's not invested in YouTube so much. And so I like to listen to him. And he was talking about how there's some big lawsuit out in California, and Amazon's basically they're trying to finagle it where how did it used to be they didn't take responsibility for things that they sent out but now they're going to have to be the ones taking responsibility, so they'll get sued, not us as the sellers. And so now they're like, Amazon's like, okay, we will allow that only if you allow that for everybody, all the other platforms. And what Oxford Professor was saying, and this I don't know, and this is still just guessing on what's going to happen. He said that um, all the lawsuits, Amazon can kind of absorb it, but eBay and all these other platforms won't be able to. And so they're just going to wipe out their competition and make it where, because like eBay has a collectible thing now, and they're trying. I mean, Amazon, they're trying to wipe out all the other ones. But then it's so hard to sell into Amazon unless you know. I don't know. You bought some football contenders cards and Bowman baseball cards that I can't sell. Yeah, I mean, contenders aren't. That's why you got to be careful. Like some of these guys, there's a lot of people that like to tell you all of a sudden they're. It's funny how many people were like literally saying in their lives, and they're like, I've got the sports card game figured out, and they're doing stuff. And I'm like, they don't even know what they're talking about. Everybody's buying those blaster packs, and you can't even really get. They were talking about how trying to get that $15,000 autograph by Zion. I'm like, you can't even get him in those. You have to get the hobby. But anyway, and so you're misleading people somewhat because I mean they were still hot enough they could make money, but in the future they don't. It's going to hurt them thinking that they might be able to get something, because a lot of times I mean if they're made and put in Walmart, it's for a reason. They're watered down. They're not going to have better cards than you get that you give out to the people that really collect and spend the money. So that's why you got to go do those team breaks. That's why you got to follow my channel a little bit just to kind of, because those team breaks, like even I had one the other day. I didn't get any autos, but I got enough number of cards. I'll get my money back easily. And so you always at least break even, and you get a chance of getting a thousand. I got a $2,000 card one time on a $70 break. That's way better odds than buying blaster packs where you get $40 when you spent 20. I mean, that's about as good as you're going to get. And the only reason it was even good for a little bit was because people were so overly pricing Zion, which I kept saying, I go, if you guys want to do anything, you buy up Jaw, because Zion's getting too much attention, and Jaw is way better to me when I watch him than, and so he's underpriced. So it's more, it's just like stock market, but you got to be careful. That's why I only do like half of it that way anymore, because it's like stock market. You're really taking a chance. 1,500. Wow. So what did you say you sold on Amazon? Like, so you're just selling like brand new stuff all the time? Like what categories are you able to send? I just don't like when everybody's like, well, you can do books. I remember I watched Rake and Profit back in the day. I'm like, I never see any of those books. You'd have to spend so much time to get 1% of them to be worth anything. I'm like, I'd rather just go work and know I'm going to make money than that's not. That doesn't sound fun to me. And I've seen some of those guys using those scanners. They go into Goodwill. I'm like, and you see them go through all those scanners and they don't find one book. I'm like, you don't see them come back either. That's awesome though. 15,000. Thanks, Danny. I appreciate you for joining. Absolutely. Yeah. So you saw that too. Yeah, the Etsy person, they're pissed. Hey Harry, what's up, brother? Appreciate you everybody for joining. Glenn, thanks for joining. It's getting ready to pummel us with rain, so I can't garage sale. I can't go to the farmer's market. I can't mow, so might as well go on. I played guitar forever there at the beginning. Yeah, sports cards, you got to be careful. And like I kept telling these other guys that they think they got to figure it out. And I'm like, if you want to make money, you got to grade them. You get the card, and you get a good card. You send it and get graded, and then you sell it. But most people want to sell it if they get a good one or keep it. And the problem is what they're going to find is they're not selling them. They're going to keep some. You get greedy. You're like, oh well, this is going to go up more, and I don't want to. I'm not going to like because people even still to this day are like, are you mad you sold those Mahomes cards? I'm like, you guys forgot like third game of the season he blew his knee out in the middle of the game. I didn't know if he's ever going to be the same again. I'm just glad that I still was able to sell him because it's just so easy to lose all your money if you put it all in one place. And a lot of people are doing that, throwing all their money into Zion. I mean, LeBron's been playing for almost 20 years. He's done so much. It's taken almost that long to get his cards up really high. So it's only going to go down, in my opinion. Do toys, health, beauty, office supplies, clothing, sporting goods. So everything's basically brand new with tags you sell on Amazon. Um, how do you source for that? How do you source for Amazon for all that stuff? Do you do garage sales? Because there's not a lot of that new stuff. So maybe you're just going to like Dollar Tree and buying some of that stuff and then flipping it, or because I go to the Dollar Tree, I buy like those puzzles. They're for $1, those frozen puzzles, and I sell them for $3.95 in my booths, and they pay for rent in my flea market booths and antique mall booths. And because I love I love Dollar Tree because there's no tags on it. There's no Dollar Tree symbol or anything. It's just the barcode, and so it's pretty simple. Hey, Candace, thanks for joining. I haven't seen you in a while. I know you're probably real busy doing the full time. I don't, people always say that they want to go full time reselling. I don't know. I think it would. I think you'd be careful to make something that's fun, not fun if you're not careful. Uh, and I like having money to source. I don't want to have to sell something to source because I know I'm going to end up selling it for less money just because I'm wanting to turn it faster. So I kind of like it having. I don't know. That's just me. Oh, nice. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think that hurricane's coming your way. Was it Laura? It came up to us almost. It rained in Branson and never got to us. That my friend lives in Little Rock. She's a traveling nurse. Said they were getting 7 inches an hour in Little Rock. Like what? That's crazy. TJ Maxx. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I used to always I remember about 4 or 5 years ago when I first started going to TJ Maxx, I remember thinking, why don't people just come here and then sell this stuff online? And I go to Ross, I think the same thing. Then I started watching videos. I'm like, oh, that's what they do. Okay, maybe that's why TJ Maxx is so busy all the time. Because I used to go to Kohl's all the time because that was cheaper than J.C. Penney's and it was better quality than a Walmart. And then I went to TJ Maxx one day. I'm like, I'll never go to Kohl's again. Buying Nike dry fit shirts for $15 when I was paying 35 or 40 at all those other stores. And yeah, never went back. And plus, I get good socks there. That's what I liked about TJ Maxx. Good socks and good boxer shorts. They had good boxer shorts for the cheapest price I could find. And I wasn't spending money on freaking Amazon. I'm getting to where I don't want to spend more money on Amazon. Sometimes, but there's always a collector. And whenever most collectors are Hall of Fame guys, and Barry Bonds is most likely this year is probably going to get in the Hall of Fame, and LeBron definitely is. And it's funny because I've never understood why people hated LeBron. It was all because of that one thing where he announced that he was going to another team. And it wasn't like it was ESPN that wanted him to do that. It wasn't like it was him doing it and made him out to be this terrible guy. I'm like, he married his high school sweetheart. He's never done anything wrong. I mean, he said a few things dumb, but who hasn't? And I'm like, why does everybody hate him? Like, I don't. It's fascinating to me. It's easy to get pummeled when you're on top, I guess. And I mean, he said some dumb things, but I've said some really dumb things myself. But yeah, it does affect it. It affected Barry Bonds and Mark McGuire's cards for the last 10 years, but you're seeing a rebound on all that stuff. Like around here, Mark McGuire stuff sells because it's close to St. Louis. There's lots of St. Louis Cardinals fans here, and they don't, you know, and it's like the steroid thing is more blown out than it should be. Like it actually, it really makes me mad because I'm an aficionado. I'm a lover of the sport of baseball, and they've been cheating and doing things like this always, always. Like when in Willie Mays era, Stan Musial, Ted Williams, they had legal speed in the dugout. They called them greenies. It's the stuff they give airplane guys in the military in case they get caught over they crash. They can stay up for days on these greenies and not feel bad or not even it's not as harmful. It doesn't have as bad as side effects. They were using those for years. That's performance enhancing. They don't put asterisks around Willie Mays's name. Because if you study baseball, Mark McGuire was like 6'4", 190 pounds his rookie year. He hit 49 home runs. Like until 2 years ago, that record has still stood for so long. Because when you're a rookie, you're not supposed to hit 49 home runs. He's 185 pounds. He didn't need to be any stronger. It didn't help the batters as much. You hit at 400 feet, it still counts as a home run. So hitting at 500 didn't give you that much more of advantage because it didn't help anything. Now pop flies that would have been 300 feet that ended up being, that was a problem. But pitchers were the ones using it. Pitchers were using it more than the hitters. And that's why the hitters started using it, because they knew the pitchers were, because it's all about recovery. So that whole issue makes me mad in the first place. And the funny thing is Barry Bonds didn't take steroids forever. He was the last one to take them, and then he gets the big blame, even though he didn't really take them for a long time. But I mean, it's just an even playing field, and they just need to let that stuff go. Quitting reselling. Oh, that's why you were running those auctions and stuff. Hey, I understand. Sometimes just that knowledge is going to give you something for another job or whatever, and help you organize things different. It's going to do something benefit for you. And I'm sure it's hard to ever, I don't know if I could ever stop reselling, because I always buy something and to keep, and I'll buy a lot and sell off the rest just to have that thing I wanted. But I may not resell to make money all the time, but yeah, you got to do what you got to do. If you don't change your focus, you can't really focus on what you need to on the new thing. So I get that. And a move is so hard. It's so involving. Yeah, good question. Making more time for family and health probably won't pick. Yeah, gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, I can see that. That may not be that bad. I like going to TJ Maxx, and you can get some stuff cheap, because I always buy my stocking caps and stuff like that at there, and because it's just so much cheaper. And they're always name brands, so and they're made well. Well, it's good to be in that place. Yeah, I do it for fun too. You're not a I mean, he said some dumb things I haven't really agreed with, but to act like they act like he's some, I don't know. It's just so weird. I mean, Jordan, Larry Bird, some of those guys, they were assholes. And but people don't act like they were. I'm like, dude, they were mean. But I don't care either. That was part of their just who they were. I mean, um, their teammates probably didn't like it, but they also liked the money they were making on it. So you gotta do what you gotta do. It was if you're Cleveland and he was from there, you were frustrated that it was almost embarrassing that he went on there and shoved it down your throat. So if you're from Cleveland, I get it, but everywhere else in the nation, come on. Uh, I knew a guy that actually played against him in AAU ball back when he was traveling and still trying to get better. But you always knew about him, but like his mo was like make him shoot, make him shoot, make him shoot. But he's just that guy that knew, and he just worked on his shooting, and he always run and jump. And I mean, Jordan was the same way. He got made fun of for shooting so bad in the playoffs against Detroit that one year, and that's all they talked about. And he was so mad, he went and shot 1,000 baskets a day for I think to the end of his career, and it was because of those statements. And he's like, "I'm never having that again." And then he became known as the guy that couldn't miss, especially whenever they needed it, because he'd done it so many times. And that's what it comes back to. Even Jordan, it's repetition. He didn't tell anybody he was doing that. I remember that was one of those stories that he would get up at 5 and do 2 hours of his own practice and then go to his own practice and never telling his teammates that he was putting in 2 more hours than everybody else. He probably did more afterwards too. Thanks for joining, Harry. I appreciate it. I had nothing else to do. I figured I might as well give a platform people to hang out on for a minute. I can't believe all this stuff I sold in my flea market booth yesterday. All this talk about trying to wipe out eBay and all that stuff makes me realize I'm glad I have my flea market booth and antique mall booth right now, because it's just nice to have other platforms to pump around on. I don't know. Out of the reselling. I get it. You had that shed and everything. Now you're selling it. So you're moving into a different environment and everything. So, ooh, my breaker's putting up something. Ooh, there's some good breaks coming. 5-star baseball. See, this is why, if you're still in the chat, anybody, this is why the cards are so much better now. Like you can get a card that has the autograph and the piece of the jersey. This is the piece of the laundry tag in it, and it'll be numbered 1 of 1. So that's why people join these breaks. If you get one of those cards and then get it graded, make $2 to $5 grand on something you spent 60, $70 on. And I mean, I've only had I bet 2 out of, I said 2 out of 100 breaks that I didn't get my money back, maybe. Um, like those cards, you can't get in blaster packs from Walmart. And that's why I was kind of frustrated, didn't know what to say when people were all going to Walmart, getting that stuff, and then acting. I was just like, don't get everybody's thinking they should do that. Now, the smart thing to do, and I did hear some of them say this, they were buying the boxes and then reselling the boxes on eBay. And that's smart, because here you couldn't get the blaster packs. You couldn't even, because people were coming in and grabbing them right when they went on the shelf, I guess. And so if you're just turning them like that, that's probably good money and you could sell it quick. But otherwise, if you're going to, I don't know. Anyway, you got to test it out to try. But I love sports cards because easy to take pictures of. easy to list, easy to store, easy to ship. I've never had I'm knock on wood, I've never had a return on a card. Never. So, wow, it's storming bad. Um, so that's a huge advantage. I mean, like there for a while I was selling clothes. I'm like, no, it, no, because I was getting it 15% of the time I was getting returns. And I was selling sports jerseys too. And I swear they were just wearing a jersey once and then taking it back and then returning it, even though I had new tags on. So I just didn't like that. And that's kind of why another reason I like collectibles. Another reason why I like my flea market booth. No returns. I'm not trying to screw anybody so they can't return. It's one less thing to worry about. They know it when they buy it. They pay cash. They don't get charged that percentage fee like you do on eBay for everything. I like that. Um, every once in a while you get something stolen, but usually I paid $2 for it or less. So it's not like, yeah, I could have got 40 for it, but I've only put $2 into it. So it's not, I had a really cool Budweiser Boulevard metal sign that was like this, and it looked vintage and it was vintage, but it wasn't, but still looked good. It was a perfect man cave to put over your bar kind of deal. And I got it for like, I think $2, 250 or something on something. And that was part of that deal where I got that uh, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Budweiser. It's a, it's got I don't have any. I have to install it, but it has the lights underneath of it, and it goes above a pool table. And I got it in that lot, and he just threw it in, and I had it up in my antique booth, and it's gone. And and I would say the two problems about antique mall booths and flea market booth is people pick up stuff and they'll change their mind and just throw it in somebody else's booth. So it may not be stolen; it's just laying somewhere else. And if they don't take care of their booth, they may never even see it or care. Because some people will leave it in their booth because it makes their booth look better. And people, and one thing I like about the flea market booth too is the difference between that and eBay and Amazon is people can pick it up. When people pick it up, they might buy it. I think they buy it more than they would on eBay. So I think that's an advantage. But do they ever put it back in the place they got it? They don't even remember where they got it. So they just throw it wherever. And so, after like 3 or 4 days, your booth's a mess because people just come in there. I have this rack of turntable of DVDs, and people just pull them out, look at them, and just throw them on top of everything else. So what I had set up is covered, and the DVDs aren't in their place. That's part of the thing. But that's when I wish I had kids that would just go up there and face everything for me, and you realize Walmart's having to deal with that same thing all the time, and it's every business has to. I still can't find them here either. If you want to buy some blaster packs that might be worth some money, uh, the top series, top series 2, because they were kind of everywhere and no one was buying them. But there's a guy named Luis Robert who is a Cuban guy that's playing for the White Sox, and he's really good. And his rookie card's in there, and it's worth $20 to $30. And so if you buy blasters, you can get those fairly cheap. Those aren't too bad of ones to grip. You can get 2 or 3 of those in there, and you'll make your money. But otherwise, there's not much at Walmart you really want to mess with. Yeah, clothes. Like Poshmark, I'm like, you're listing clothes all day. They take 20%. You have to share it. They don't have an algorithm to share your stuff. And everybody lowballs you. I'm like, I don't, why am I don't want to mess with that. I'm like, I'd rather do eBay. I let it set. I don't, I mean, one thing about clothes is, they're easy to store, I guess, somewhat. I don't know. They just so long tail because it's just like everything. People see it, but there's so many sizes to everybody. They like it, but you don't have my size. You don't have my size. How many times do you think people been to your stuff and been like, "That's awesome," my size? And that's why like why J.C. Penney's did what they did, I guess. Coors Light pool table. That's cool. I'm thinking about putting that in my booth. I don't know how much. I bought it for $20. He was having a moving sale. Now there's not pool table places. I figured a restaurant would buy it, but it might be just a personal thing. I don't know. I was thinking like $200. It's pretty awesome. I don't know. I kind of want to get it out of the house. It's been sitting there for too long. I thought I was going to study how to rewire it. It just needs to be wired. If it was wired up and everything, I bet it's worth $400 or $500. 300. Anyway, I like playing around, and that way I learn something new. Make a challenge. Man, it's raining hard here. Let me check that radar. We're in Tornado Alley here. Tornadoes suck. I saw a Joplin one go over Springfield. That was nuts. The biggest part just missed us. Well, it's pretty close. Ooh. Thanks, Glenn. Thanks for throwing your 2 cents in. Thanks for joining. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, it's pouring here. We need it. We haven't had rain in like 3 weeks or so. My yards are dead. So this is just wonderful. And plus, they're showing the forecast. It's supposed to be highs in like 79, 80 for next 10 days. So thank you. I'm ready for fall. This is my rest day for running. I usually run every day, but I make myself not run on Saturday. So I want to run still, but I know I need to recover. Every time I take a day off like that, the next time I run, I feel like a rabbit. I'm just so healed and ready to go. But it becomes an addiction. People don't understand. It makes you think so much better. It's just all the endorphins, I guess. I don't know what it is, but man, you feel so good after running. You want to run. In my opinion, I don't think running is the best way to go at the beginning for sure. You got to walk first. You got to ride a bike. Interval training is better. Running is kind of like master class. You got to make sure all the tendons and ligaments and all that stuff's ready for it, because you can't just. Too many people go out there and try to get a mile in, and they're running so bad. All they're doing is hurting themselves. You got to run correctly as long as you can, not as far as you can just because you want to. It's supposed to rain all weekend. Yeah. Unfortunately, we need it so bad that I'm fine with it. Although it's like a monsoon out there right now. I'm just a farmer, basically. I never forget. I'm from North Missouri, and I live in South Missouri, and it's about 4 hours away. It's quite a distance, actually. And my grandpa had a farm up there. He was a cattle rancher, and I told him I moved all the way to Springfield to avoid being around the farm. And I was a city boy that was born in the country, and I like the country, but it's just like it wasn't. I needed more, and I go, yeah, Grandpa. I moved all the way down near Springfield to get away from the farm life, and I became a yard farmer. And he was belly laughing. He's and he got dementia not too long after that. So that was one of the last good conversations I had with him. He laughed it up, especially because he always wanted some of us to be a farmer, you know. I mean, why wouldn't you? Just like my dad, he's a preacher, so in, deep down, he's hoping that me or Landon, my nephews, one of them will be a preacher, which that'd be cool. My dad he gives his life to that, so it's pretty awesome to see people give their service to something, whatever, as long as it's positive. Pretty awesome. Yeah, that's not happening. Are you moving a long way away, or is it just kind of a short move that's a move up or something? Or man, moving's terrible. I hate moving. I end up staying in places forever just because I don't want to move. You okay, Bubba? Bo gets upset during the storms. Come here, Bubba. You're okay. I talked to a vet once, and she believes wholeheartedly because she's worked with animals for so long, and she's not just dogs. She goes, she really thinks that some animals feel the electricity, and it actually hurts them when storms come through. And I believe it because Bo, he shakes uncontrollable. And I don't need a radar. I know when lightning's close because Bo puts his tail down, and I just know, and he knows. And it's kind of interesting to think about because I have a friend that anytime a storm's close, she gets a migraine, and so it makes you wonder. It's the same deal. She hurts whenever storm's close, and I'm pretty sure he does too. And I'm just lucky Cora doesn't have that same thing. When I studied it, I think it was like 50% of dogs have it built into them. I guess it's an instinct thing to keep them alive, hide and stay covered whenever you feel that energy or whatever. Because Bo just kind of paces and wants to hide behind me and hide in a corner and get in the closet. Poor thing, it must suck. Yeah, that's cool. Something new, just something different. We all need to change things. We try to be comfortable, and that doesn't work. Comfortable just gets you in trouble. Comfortable gets you a big fat belly and stupid attitude. It's like all the people I know that are not happy or whatever. They're thinking in their head. They're in their head all the time. They're not doing anything. Um, they feel like they're doing something because all they're doing is constantly thinking the same thoughts and probably really terrible thoughts. You can see it on their face. You're like, good Lord, what are you thinking about? Scared to death of the storms. Yeah. And he's right here now. It's okay, Bubba. He's got his tail down, and he's shaking. I can feel him shaking. It's okay, Bubba. It's gonna be a quick storm. It'll be quick. Yeah, it's weird. Like, I'm a single man, so it's without any kids. So he's my baby. So I feel it hurts to see him hurting. Come here, Bubba. It's okay. And it's funny because we run so much, and they'll want to run today. They'll be frustrated that we won't run. I used to run races, and of course this year you can't. They do the virtual ones, and those just aren't. You're still running by yourself. Um, but now I've ran with my dogs so much that I don't even want to do those races because running's not fun without them in a weird way. Oh, you baby, you take care of me. Yeah. Cora's over here kissing him, though. Trying to comfort him. I don't think he wants it. Oh, that was funny. She's so cute. It's funny at night after we get done eating, about 8, she always has to go to the bathroom. And she just always wants to pee. But what she's really doing, there's crickets down there. And she'll dig for crickets and find bugs, eat them like it's dessert. And I started thinking about, I'm like, yeah, I guess that's kind of like a lobster, like a crab. Insects are to them. So it'd be like eating lobster. Yeah, I can see that. Um, I guess there's worse things. Well, yeah, there's some people that I have a pond right behind me at my apartment, and it's a nice pond. And so some people come out here and take their break, and they'll pull right up next to it, and they must always get food, and they throw stuff out, like half their fries. They'll tear the bread off, so they're not eating as much bread, obviously. And Cora walks by there and just devours everything she can as fast as possible because I don't give them that stuff, and I'm like, crap. And then when I see it, I'll just go, okay, 2 fries. Go ahead and go get them. I almost don't stop that anymore. I'm the bad daddy that doesn't let them have cheeseburgers, and I do give them ice cream. After we run, I give them a couple little spoonfuls of ice cream because they need fat, and there's a lot of sugar in there. But after we run, they've used up their sugar, so and their eyes are like, and so that's the one thing I kind of treat them with, and I'll give them some pita chips that are baked. I'll give them some of those like after we eat sometimes. Just give them some crunchy because I don't let them eat bones and stuff. And I'm a bad dad. When I study bones, you're supposed to have them uncooked because they're cooked and they splinter and that could kill them. Virtual races, yeah. It, which it's people are trying to stay alive. People those races, that was all the money. Like my animal shelters, the rescue one where I got both my dogs. That's where they made most of their money in the year was from races, and people, they had 2 a year, and a lot of charities around here. That's where they got a lot of their money was having these 5Ks. So they're hurting, and so they had to come up with something that people might give. Basically, it's just people wanting to give some money, so they don't. I mean, I don't think people realize how there's restaurants that are still open. They're just hoping something changes soon because they've been losing a lot of money. There's just no way. I worked in a restaurant for years, and people don't understand. Like I worked at Cheddar's, they made no money on their food, zero. They may have even lost money on the food when you figure in waste and people eating it, cooks and employees eating the stuff. They made their money on iced tea and coffee and Coke and beer. And so if you can't fill the whole place full, you're just not making money. Because what are people doing? They're getting to go orders. They're not getting a bunch of drinks with the to go order. You know what I mean? So they're just staying alive. And so it's gonna be interesting to see what happens whenever, you know, I don't know. I just don't know how long some of these people can last. You can only throw money into something that's a dream for so long, and then you're like, okay, this isn't panning out. Fireworks, yeah. Bo doesn't like the fireworks, but he's gotten used to it. The last 3 years, every year, the first year though, oh my gosh, it was so bad. Philly, where do you do a lot of your sourcing? Um, I can't remember. I was thinking you said Goodwill. I noticed that a lot of the dumpster diver people don't do the videos anymore. They must get a lot of hate about doing that or something. I've never, you know, honestly though, when you see them talking about grabbing stuff out of dumpsters and selling it on Amazon, I'm like, huh, huh, I'm like, I get that. But when it comes to Amazon, most people on Amazon don't realize they think and because I did, I thought all the stuff on Amazon was Amazon selling it. I didn't realize that 60% was us selling stuff on their platform to fill in the blanks for them. I don't know. Amazon's a weird creature. Scares the crap out of me, especially after all this. They've made so much money in this last 5 or 6 months. I bet they've almost doubled their worth. Yeah, Cheddar's is good food. It was all scratch. It was based out of what town was it? Was it Arlington, Texas? It was based out of Texas. That's where it started. And we were the 14th one in Springfield, which now there's 150 of them or something stupid. Man, that food was, I mean, for being fried food, that was good food because it was made right there, fresh batter, it wasn't frozen, made a big difference. But then whenever the 2007 recession hit, we started getting in all the McDonald's people that stopped eating McDonald's and stopped eating fast food, and they started going to Cheddar's because it was about the same price, and they would just screw you on the tip. And so it went from having a bunch of great customers to just terrible customers. It was the strangest thing. Went from a great job to everybody being like, "What happened?" And customers became so bad that they started taking away tables from everybody. So we were making less money, and then they started taking away tables because they thought that would help us take care of them better. But the problem was the customer was lying. They were always getting taken care of, but they needed something. They were just saying stuff to get free stuff. And so it basically screwed up. It screwed Cheddar's in Springfield. We went from making 100 to 150 bucks a night from 98 to 2005 to making 60 to 80 and if that sometimes. And it just wasn't fun. And plus the customers, if every customer seemed like it had a problem, it's not enjoyable. No one's enjoying themselves. They're just trying to find a problem. It became not fun. And it's weird how fast that can change. I have Goodwill. Is yours a Goodwill outlet or is it bins? We don't have bins. Wow. It's okay, Bubba. Might be some hail in this storm. We don't have Goodwill bins except for Kansas City and St. Louis, and so they're 3 hours away. So in Springfield, there's just 2 Goodwill retail stores. So, I mean, when I go to the Goodwills here, it's kind of like I just go to the same areas where I know that I kind of normally buy stuff because most stuff's overpriced now. Even in a year's time, it's like the difference is quite a bit. But like still, if there's like there's a Wii bundle, and they're usually 35 to maybe 50 bucks. They'll have like 4 remotes with it sometimes, and this and that. And I'm like, heck yeah, because you can part out 3 of the remotes, sell a console, and make 125 bucks. I look for like rap media. There'll be some rap stuff, and I'll go to sporting goods stuff to see if they have any golf clubs or because that stuff will sell my boost really fast because it's bigger and I won't have to sell it on eBay. Easy, Cora, easy. And then I go look at glass, of course, just to look. But most time, the glass people already got to it. And then I look at electronics, and I'll buy hats for $2. Cora, easy. I'll buy hats for $2, which most people don't buy those hats at Goodwill for $2 because on eBay it's hard to sell them for like $10 free shipping. So you're making, a few bucks and you're having to deal all that stuff. And they'll sit there for a long time. But for me, I can buy it for $2, put in my booth for 6 to 10, and it pays for my rent pretty quick. And people buy a lot of hats out of my booth. And I think it's a lot to do with like people go to a flea market or an antique mall and and they have like $20. They want to spend $20, and they go through. They can't find anything, and there's that hat for $5. Seems like a good deal. Buy it, because that's what I sell DVDs, and $2 a piece. You wouldn't believe how many DVDs I sell of stuff that I've never even watched because it didn't even look good. But I just bought them in a bulk buy at a garage sale, and man, like something I always do at garage sales is like this other day I went to one and they had this jean jacket from the '60s, and it's like the longer one. I don't know, call that a duster or something like that. It has like extra pockets. It was called Big Mac, and it said Union made on it. JCPenney Big Mac. It didn't say made in USA, but it was like so far before that, I guess they just assumed everything was made in USA. But it said Union made. Anyway, and it's lined with like wool looking stuff lined. And it was $35. And I tried to talk her down. I'm like, would you take 25 for it? She's like, no. Well, how about 30? She's like, no, I'll take 35. I'm like, crap. So it was one of those, you get a feel for what's going on. I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to do that because I didn't know how much it's worth. But I know it's worth more than $35. And so then I look around at her other stuff and I found like she had these electric scissors that were still in the package for $1 and something else. Like something else from embroidering, like a tool, and it was still in the box too. And it was like $2. So I picked up both of those, and what was it? Oh, yeah, I got 5 antique. I mean, they're vintage. They're close to 100 years old, but they're these big. I'll grab them real quick. Back up. But they're these old like instrument cases. It has like the leather strap, and they have the leather strap on the side on the big ones. But I got 5 of these, and she wanted $20 for all 5 of them. I'm like, heck yeah! So I got all those. And I got those for $20 for all 5 of those, and I have them listed for one's for 20, and then the rest of them are all $25. And I put in my antique mall booth. And I bet they all sell. And I already sold those electric scissors for like $23 plus shipping on top. And so I've already now that jacket's pretty much free. So it worked out how I want. So that's kind of how I do some of those things. The stuff I'm going to take a chance on, then I know I'll go buy something else that I know I'll make money on. So I'll cover it just in case, which I would have. It was one of those things where I missed it and I should have grabbed it anyway. But it's amazing how many times I do that. You go through the garage sale, you're looking for something certain, and then you don't find it. And then you go back through it and you're like, why didn't I notice that? And then you grab it because it was well worth it. $1 into 22. But yeah, I don't know. And I buy personal stuff. Like when I go I look in their clothing. It's all basically for myself because I buy shirts for working out and things like that. But I've got my whole wardrobe now is pretty much from Goodwill, Nike stuff. That's $2 to $4. And where I'm from, it's funny because Goodwill is genius. Their name is genius. Like where I'm from, you don't have that kind of stuff. So we thought of Goodwill as this place where people that are real poor had a place to go to get stuff cheap, and the homeless people would go there to get that stuff cheap. And so you wouldn't go there to buy it because you're taking away from homeless people. That's how we saw it where I was from. And so it's been kind of a battle because people where I'm from still don't like that I probably go to Goodwill because they don't understand what it's about. They don't understand that a homeless person comes in there, they'll just give those clothes to them. They're not going to even charge those people a lot of times. And it's the same thing as, people don't realize it's the same thing as Red Racks and Salvation Army, but they actually think it's something different because it's a great name, smart. Um, um, but anyway, I I haven't been there much. I've only been there like 3 or 4 times since all this came back in, and well, I've been there 5 or 6 times. But I found good stuff every time I've gone, better than I used to because less people are going in. But it's just kind of one of those things. I don't know. I'm just sticking. I don't know. Trying to stay away from people as much as possible. I have a lot of friends that are nurses and doctors, and so I don't watch the news. I just talk to the people that are soldiers in the line of fire, and that's all I know. Thanks, Candace. Thanks for joining. Good luck on your move and video it. Maybe you get some watches on that. I guess you're going to stop your producing videos if you're not reselling, I guess. But yeah, I understand. Yeah, any energy is going to take away from other energy that you could be. So, I think about that a lot. Like, if I wasn't reselling, how much extra guitar work would I have done? But who's to say I would have done any, and maybe less? Because I do more guitar work because I kind of want it to sound okay. So I've actually gotten better at guitar over the last year just because it just sounds sloppy to me and I don't like it. So I just get it better and better and better. And it's actually extenuated my guitar skills because I don't want it to suck. And playing the acoustic's hard, honestly. Yeah, man. I can hear the hail hitting the metal stairs outside. Wow. Wind's pretty crazy. Well, I should probably jump off here. I just wanted to go on and chit chat, and I've been on for almost 2 hours. Good Lord. I should have brought someone in. I never do that. I don't know why. I'm going to talk to myself. Cora, no, baby. I need to pack up orders, take it up to the post office. They close at 2. Got 4 Beatles collector's plates going out. Someone came in and bought all 4 of them. Put them in one box, send them out, done. Pretty awesome. 20, 22, 24 bucks each one, plus shipping on top, like 11 or 12 bucks, which I'll probably make money on some of the shipping. I should probably take a little money off. And I got all those for like $1.70 a piece. So I've been making money on those for a while. I had like 40 of those plates. It's all gone now. But they're the Beatles. I passed up on a lot of other. She had tons. She had like Elvis and Marilyn Monroe plates too. But that was about a year ago, and I remember thinking, I don't know anything about these. So I'm like, the Beatles though. Beatles will sell. If not, I'll keep them, and I'm gonna keep at least 3 of them. The artwork on them is pretty cool, and they're limited, so they're not. Man, I'm gonna quit this. There's some huge hail. I can see it. That's crazy. All right, thanks, y'all. Grind on. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you. Later, as Mr. Harry Humston would say.